Hello everyone and welcome back to Mossy Pine Ranch at Elmcreek. This is episode number 2. Last time we were busy buying this farm, Mossy Pine Ranch, and getting it set up as a new farm manager. So we bought a few pieces of equipment, the class harvester, the trailer, and we've got a case tractor, Joskin water trailer there. We also placed a silo, a beehive right near the tree there, a source of water, and a nice greenhouse just down there. And yeah, that's my first job today. I'm going to top it up with water to make sure we are going to be producing for many hours. But yes, last time we sort of got to grips with the new farm, the new ranch, and what it's got on offer. It's got a fair few fields. We harvested some wheat and oats, which were already there. We purchased those with the ranch. It was fields 5, which had wheat in, and field 3, which had oat in. So yeah, those are showing as harvested now. And we also talked about some other crops that we've got. We've got soybean in field number 1, which is still growing, and we've got sorghum in field number 2, which is now ready to harvest. So that's going to be a job for later on today. Okay, looks like we've topped up the greenhouse as much as it's going to be. So that's good to go. And we take a quick look outside. Excellent. So yeah, we will be selling those later when the price is a little bit higher. But for now, we have to set ourselves about today's jobs and what those are all about. The first job really is dealing with the straw that came out of the harvest of the wheat and oats last time. The wheat and oats we put in the silo, by the way. We weren't going to sell it as the price seems to be better in January for wheat, and for oats, yeah, we plan to keep the oats and also the sorghum that we're going to harvest from this field for horses, which we'll plan to do later. But yeah, we have some straw in that field and this field along here, which we need to really collect up. I do want to collect the straw. I had a bit of a debate in my head last time about whether to collect or just to leave it, but we will be collecting it as that will go towards our horses as well. So first thing, we need some form of baling and some baling equipment. So one thing that I did see, and yeah, I've already got it here, on the used vehicle sale, there is a Artemusprime Multipack D14, which is a stacker of the small conventional bales, and it's a used vehicle sale. It's on offer, so 67% off. That is going to be very useful to us, as the baler we are going to purchase is the cheapest, the Massey Ferguson 1840, and that does the small 120 centimeter bales. And yes, the stacker sort of works hand in hand with it. We can go and pick up the bales, and it sort of collects them all up and stacks them into a larger square bale size. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and buy that before it gets pinched and picked up by someone else. We should, of course, get our Mossy Pine number plate. Mossy Pine. Very nice. So let's buy that for £20,897. And then, of course, we will need our baler, and it's the one I mentioned, the Massey Ferguson 1840. So 22,000 for the baler. Let's go ahead to the store and collect our purchases. Right, so here we are, our new baler and our new stacker. I can't take both at once, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to come back for the stacker. Let's get the baler back to the farm, and then yeah, we'll come right back to pick up the stacker as well. Right, we can drop the baler off here, and then double back to the shop again to get the stacker. Right, let's get the stacker hitched up. And on our way. Okay, back with the stacker as well. And yeah, that's one slight negative about Mossy Pine Ranch, is it's quite far away from the store, the dealership, but that's alright. The ranch itself is in such a good setting, it makes up for that fact. So, on to the baling. We've got these 2 fields to bale up. I think we can just get this unfolded and started up, and then we are good to go. So yeah, this baler does a small 120 centimetre bales, I believe. We should see one popping out shortly. Here it comes down the channel. And then yeah, the reason I bought the stacker as because this baler produces much smaller bales, it's going to be easier for us to manage them with this stacker. So that's the purpose of it. We'd otherwise have to manually load all these smaller bales onto a trailer. And yeah, I saw that the stacker actually sort of compresses them all into one larger normal square sized bale. So I was keen to see if we were to do maybe grass bales later on, whether a square bale wrapper would wrap them up and ferment them. So yeah, going to be doing a bit of testing with that later on when we move on to doing some grass work. But here we are doing the lanes of the straw baling, and then once we're done with this, we will get the stacker, get all the bales nicely stacked, and go store them somewhere for when we've got horses. So I'm going to crack on with this job, and I'll see you when we're done. Right, that is both fields all baled up, and we've got these lovely diddy straw bales. So let's get the baler folded. I'm going to have to mine sweep through all the bales so I don't end up driving over them. But yeah, that is quite a nifty little baler, and a nice sized one to be starting out with. Could have obviously gone for a bigger baler. We've got the funds to do that sort of thing, but you know, starting out with the smaller equipment sometimes is nice as well. So let's find a suitable place to park this up. It's probably going to be where the rest of the equipment stash is, to be honest. And yeah, we're going to have to repair up our used bale stacker. So I'm going to place a small workshop at the farm so we can service vehicles. Okay, so I'm going to actually place a production item in this area here so we can service vehicles, and I came across this nifty little vehicle workshop mod. So it is a placeable, and I'm thinking sort of here is a good place for it to go. this area is not going to get used as much, and this looks like the sort of perfect place that one of these little utility trailers would get parked. So let's go ahead and place that there. Very nice. So let's get the bale stacker and get it repaired up, and we can start stacking bales. Right, so we should just be able to reverse into range, pop out and get it serviced. So repair 1202. Excellent. So let's nip down to the field, and yeah, I think we just put this into operating position, and it automatically fires into life, and we just approach one of our bales and it will pick it up quite nicely and put it into this cube oblong area where it's going to stack them all together and compress them all together, probably even wrap some bale twine around it as well so they all stay nicely together. So let's zip round here and stack some bales. This takes 14 of these smaller bales. So let's get it done. Right, and there we are, last bale picked up, and took a little getting used to. It is a very good bale stacker, and it seems to accept some awkward angles, but had to get out and poke a few in there, and I think I forgot that it was full at one point, so that was quite funny. But yeah, we've got half a load here. Let me just orientate myself properly, and we'll try and unload it. Yep, here we go. So sometimes when the bale's a bit funky, it just drops it. But the other ones, it does push them off and topples them quite nicely. Let's get that folded up. And yes, here we have our bales. And they are sort of complete square bales made up of these smaller 120cm bales, but that's pretty nifty. And yeah, they're obviously too heavy, but I have installed the lumberjack mod, and that's just going to help me shove these into the shed, as I don't have a front loader yet. And yeah, I guess in real life we'd be able to give these a little shove. We couldn't pick them up, no, but we could topple them, not throw them on the roof, Jesus. But yes, we could topple them and then just give them a nice shove, maybe even get a bit of help from one of the farm hands to just get them where we need to be. So yeah, this is where the bales are going to live, and I think this is the smaller one. We will just show what that's like when you open it up. Yeah, if we go up to this bale, we can actually R, which releases all of the individual bales, and you can see it's only made up of the 8 that was left, but it appears visually as a full square bale, but we can then pick up each individual one, which is quite nice. But yeah, the ones that we haven't remain as a full bale, so that's a nifty little feature. And this means that we could just pick up a few hay bales, straw bales, and take them into the horse paddock when we've got one, which, yeah, is really, really good. But yeah, let's get the stacker parked away, and next job is going to be on to harvesting our sorghum, which is now ready. That seems to be ready in early autumn, and of course we are in early autumn now. Each day represents a month of the calendar, so we're in September, beginning of autumn, which is nice. Starting to see some of the oranges come through on the trees, yeah, which is really, really nice. So I'm going to get the case and the class trailer first of all over to the sorghum field. It's only just over here, so not exactly travelling far, but the area where the silo is a little bit tight, so better me getting the trailer out so the harvester can deposit the sorghum into that, and then we take the trailer to the silo. Right, so I am just going to leave the trailer there, and reason is I probably want to get started on some of the subsoiling. Now, if you recall last time I mentioned there's some crops in these fields over here which we own, which we're not really going to make use of. So let's just take a quick look at the map and remind ourselves. But in field number 4 we have potatoes. In field 6 we have corn, and in field 7 we have sugar beet. Now, definitely the root crops, potato and sugar beet, they're going to be very difficult for us to harvest. A, because the equipment is very expensive, and B, because the equipment is quite small when you're starting out. So yeah, we're just going to turn these crops into the ground. And then the corn that's over there, I was debating about waiting for that to be ready to harvest and just buying a corn header, but the cheapest one looks to be around 19,000. Yeah, I just don't think we're going to make that back from the yield of that cornfield. So I think the best thing is to just turn it in and start afresh. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to start the worker off doing this field. We will of course have to come and clear some stones later on. I maybe am going to rent a stone collector, as yeah, some of the smaller ones are cheaper, but they are quite difficult. They take a while to sort of meander around and gather all the stones, so I'm up for leasing a bigger one to get the job done quicker. But yeah, that helper is off now, turning in our sugar beets. And that gives us a head start, as later on we're going to expand this field. So the sugar beet field, this potato field, the wheat field which we harvested and collected the straw just now, and then the cornfield, all into one bigger field. So yeah, we'll be saying goodbye to these little paths here, but they're not entirely necessary. This is all our land, so yeah, we're good to develop it how we want it, and more space for fields is going to earn us more money. So there we go. Right, I'm now heading up, going to get in the Dominator and start harvesting our sorghum, which is a lovely dark orange colour. Right, so let's get the header trailer dropped off and pick up the header. Now this field here, where we harvested the oats and collected the straw second, I'm going to leave that field. I'm not going to subsoil it, and the reason is I think it's the flattest field we own that's a smaller field. So I'm going to probably keep it for some development of buildings and so forth. Some greenhouses maybe, or some sheds for when we can afford them. Wowzers, $125 wage payment. That is expensive. I want to get this harvest done so I can take over the subsoiling. So let's get the harvester unfolded, and then it's switched on so we can harvest up this sorghum. And I have never harvested sorghum, and yeah, we can't get a straw from it. And interestingly, when it harvests, it doesn't do away with all of the stalks, it just seems to take the top. Yeah, it does make it a little bit tricky to differentiate what is harvested and what isn't, but yeah, it's looking pretty good. Up to 700 litres, so not a bad yield. Not expecting huge volumes, but I think horses take sorghum as well as oats, so this is just all going to go towards our horse feed. Right, so let's zip round this field and get this harvest done. Right, harvest done and just over 4,000 litres of sorghum collected. So let's drop it off in the trailer and we can drop off the header, get the harvester and the header parked back up and go take over from our worker over there who is making quite a lot of money at the moment. Alright, so let's get this parked up, and yeah, I really do enjoy the Class Dominator. The header is not very big, so we will have to probably see about upgrading that in the future when we've got that bigger field seeded. We'll be there all day if we're harvesting it in this, or we may have enough funds or think about upgrading our harvester. We shall see. I do like this harvester. Obviously it's got some German writing on it. It's a import from over the pond, but yeah, I think that was quite common, so yeah, it's a nice fit for our farm. Right, let's head over and take over from our worker. There we go. So taking over from you, done quite a good job. 2/3 of the field, maybe even 3/4, and we're going to come mess up the lines. I joke. We will do a neat job, I promise. But yes, we can expand the field. So as just as a reminder, this is our boundary up here. So we'll stop in line with this field. Don't want to cut too much into the path here. But yeah, we'll cut across into this field. This pathway down here will go, and then these two pathways here as well. And they'll all get merged into one, which is going to really benefit. We're going to be able to plant one big crop, get some bigger yields. I guess there are some benefits in having split fields. You can obviously do multiple crop and not run the risk of running into the other crops. But I'm all for sort of choosing to do one crop and making the best possible yield out of it that we can. So yeah, the bigger the better. But yeah, just taking off the edge there, so I've got a nice clean edge to work to. And, let's head back in this direction. Yep, my mission now is to get this field turned over, the cornfield turned over, and then the other two in front of it all merged into one. So probably a big job, but I'm going to get cracking, and I'll see you when we are done. Right, there we are. We have merged 4 fields into one, and yep, the edges have been expanded a little bit. The edges are looking a bit rustic, they're not entirely straight, so I will probably tidy those up a little bit with either the subsoiler or the landscaping tool slightly later. But there we go, one much larger field, and that is where we're going to seed our very first crop, an Elmcreek. But before we do that, we will have to collect the stones, so I'll be renting a stone picker next time. But I would very much like to have your say as to what crop we should plant there. I'll take a look in a moment what we've got available to us. Obviously the time of the year does dictate what we can sow. So let's just drop the subsoiler off, and that might be in range to repair. Looked like it needed a little bit of a repair after all that work. There we go. Yes, so let's take a look at what's available to plant now. So we are in planting season for wheat, barley and canola. Looks like we will probably lose the ability to plant canola, as we're not going to have enough time to plant it, and it will cease tomorrow. And then we've got not poplar, but grass and oilseed radish. Oilseed radish is a green fertilizer, so that's not going to give us any crop out of it, but it is going to fertilize the ground. So yeah, it's looking pretty sparse as to what we can plant. Wheat or barley or grass. I guess we could look to do one big grass field, and then after that is mown, we could plant something that's going to be plantable earlier in the actual year, so yeah, in this planting season. But yeah, let me know your thoughts as to what we should plant. I would have liked to have got canola in, but unfortunately the time of the year does not permit, so yeah, we will have to wait on that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and I'll maybe put a vote out on my community tab. So that is that big field all prepped with the subsoiler. We'll be stone picking next time and then seeding. So yeah, we'll need to rent a stone picker and then also buy a seed drill. We'll buy a seed drill as we'll be using that quite frequently, I imagine. But here we are. Here's our sorghum, and just want to take a quick hop into the trailer to check out the texture, because I've never seen sorghum before, and it looks very interesting. Looks like small beans, or you know, that sort of like apricot size, I guess. But yeah, very interesting crop. So let's get this to the silo, and then yeah, it's near enough the end of the day, so see what else we can keep ourselves busy with. Sorghum in the silo, very nice. And then I'm going to pop the trailer back here, and I recalled that our pickup is still at the dealership, so we need to go pick that up, ironically. I'm thinking we might get a small trailer, as I'm going to need a small flat-ish trailer to be able to take some of the produce to the sell point. So yeah, let's take a quick look at the store and the pickup. Cool, so I think the best small trailer for us to get is this Bachmann MHAL 4320/35, £8,000. Just take a quick look on the used. No, okay, so haven't got any there. So we will buy that trailer and go grab it with our pickup. Right, here we are at the dealership. Here is our shiny new trailer, which we should be able to hitch to the back of the pickup. And then the basis of this trailer really is to take some of our produce to the sell points. So we've got honey, we've got cabbages or lettuces. Is it cabbage or lettuce? I can't remember. We'll take a look. But yes, this trailer will be taking those to the sell points. So let's dash back to the farm and see if we can get something back to a sell point before it's too late, before closing time. Right, so here we go. Greenhouse. And yeah, I think it's lettuces. There we go, not cabbages. But we've got 200 litre pallet, 200 litre pallet, and 200 litre pallet. So I think we can pick these up by hand. There we go. That's very handy. And that's not even using the lumberjack mod. So yeah, handy. You can pick up those these pallets. So let's load them up. Of course, we could have just loaded these in the back of the pickup, thinking about it. But handy to have a trailer, as yeah, we could probably even load some small-ish equipment onto that trailer. So we will be needing one. Okay, that's the lettuces. Let's go pick up that honey. Okay, so let's get the honey loaded on. Very nice. And yeah, that all looks pretty secure. So, prices. Let's have a look at what we've got. So, lettuces. Best price is the Red Marble Bowling Restaurant. So, let's tag that and see where it is. So, it is up in the northeast. We'll have to drive there. Let's go there first. I think we can probably take the back roads and join the main road to the northeast. There we are, just driven in and selling our lettuces. Very nice. Yeah, honey not accepted here, so honey sold, $268 for that small pallet. So yeah, not too bad earnings. We're obviously going to have to produce much larger quantity to be able to earn some pretty big bucks. So I think that's what we will plan to do with some of the capital we've got left in the bank. Obviously need to leave some for some more equipment to help the farm. But I would like to get into quite a comfortable position where the farm is earning some pretty regular income. So yeah, greenhouses, honey from the bees, and then I'd also like to do some animals, mainly horses because we're a ranch, and some chickens as well. As yeah, eggs is always good money. I was going to go for the overtake then, but he pulled away. Yeah, let's head back to the farm, and I think that's probably job's done for today. Right, there we are, back at the ranch. So, trailer nicely parked off there. And yeah, we've had a little bit of trickle of money from some of our produce, which is nice. But yeah, there's a lot more to be earned and had at there. But that is it for today. I hope you have enjoyed watching. It's obviously been a busy one. We got our straw all baled up nicely and stacked using our new baler and stacker, and they're stored quite nicely in here, ready for when we've got some horses. We harvested the sorghum, which is now in the silo, and that's going to be going towards our horse feed along with the oats. And then we ploughed up, subsoiled this field into one large field. So next time, yep, we've got stone picking and seeding to do in there, but with the limited time we've got in the year, we've only got wheat, barley or grass available to us. But I will put that out as a vote for you guys to say what you'd like me to plant next. But next time we should also have this soybean that's growing here ready to harvest as well, so we will get some proceeds from that, but that's probably going to go in the silo as well for storage. But yeah, Hope you've enjoyed watching. I was so excited to film the second episode of Mossy Pine Ranch. It was a week ago I filmed the first one, and I've just been so excited since to film the next. So I hope you're enjoying so far. Stay tuned. And yeah, big thank you for any views, likes and subscribes. If you've got any tips, tricks or things you'd like me to do, then feel free to leave a comment. But I hope to see you again next time. Till then, I'll catch you later. Bye bye.